Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to look at all of the cards from Sword and Shield 10 that we've not yet had a chance to take a little bit of a look at. There's something like 22 new cards to look at in this video today. Some of them are genuinely potentially very good, but there's a lot to get going, so let's get going with Yanmega. Now, Yanmega comes in here, I should say all our translations from the lovely Joe over at cerebi.net. We got 1 energy, 30 damage, nobody cares. 2 energy, 40 damage. If you've got more cards in hand than your opponent, this attack does 80 more damage. Well, we're basically talking about 120 for 2 energy, which we can pay with 1 energy card. And you're hitting a grass weakness? That's not terrible, ladies and gentlemen. It's not amazing, but, you know, single energy attachment, free retreat, 120 damage, grass weakness. If you're worried about hitting a grass weakness, this one could be pretty gosh darn nice. Do consider this in a Zoroark deck, incidentally, because you're going to be playing stuff like Twin Energy anyway, and Zoroark lets you swap a stage 1 in your discard for this, so actually, this could work. You know, putting that one out there. Sticking with grass, we need to have a little bit of a look about Orbeetle. Now, this is one of those ones that was actually revealed before the full release date of the set, but I just didn't actually end up getting to it. And I think it's fair to say the attack is, well, it's alright, but you're on a stage 2 Pokemon, that's a bit awkward. 2 energy, 30 damage, plus 50 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active. Against a grass weak Pokemon with lots of energy attached, this could be good, or against any Pokemon with a lot of energy attached, but it is a little bit awkward. But the ability says when you play this card from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may attach up to 3 energy from your opponent's discard pile to their Pokemon in any way that you like. And on the one hand, sure, giving your opponent extra energy might not be ideal. I mean, the goal is clearly to put energy on that they can't use. But it also means that, you know, for attacks like Orbeetle to do damage depending on the amount of energy they have, this could actually be pretty gosh darn nice. This could do some damage, frankly, ladies and gentlemen. This could do some damage. Now, moving over into fire, we have ourselves a Torkoal, and this one's coming in as a fairly unassuming Pokemon. 2 energy, 30 damage, and one of them's colored no. 1 fire, 3 colorless, 130, discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. Again, it's just nothing terribly exciting. I'm not saying it's bad per se, but I am saying that it's just kind of pointless. Like, there's nothing about this card which should give you any pause to look at it and go, yeah, that could be quite good. It's not bad, but it's also not good. Now, Mantine comes in here with absolutely gorgeous Okacheke artwork, which makes me very, very happy indeed. The art on this card is phenomenal. 3 energy, 100 damage is not going to do it. But 1 colorless energy, choose a basic Pokemon from either your discard pile or your opponent's discard pile and put that Pokemon onto its player's bench. So you can get your opponent a Pokemon to potentially then KO next turn, or you can get a Pokemon for yourself to reuse. Like I've said, some of the cards in this video, we're doing a big roundup here. Some of these cards are pretty good. I think this one has a chance of the basic Pokemon single colorless energy. This is a very useful attack. Now, I love me some Swanna, mostly because I love Ducklet. Unfortunately, I don't love this Swanna. Single energy, 20 damage plus confusion. On a basic Pokemon, I'd be saying, oh, I'd like to do more damage. On a stage 1, I'm just saying no. 3 energy, 130, discard an energy from this Pokemon. We just saw this on Torkoal and I wasn't impressed. I'm no more impressed here. Even though it is for 1 energy less than Torkoal, still don't like it. 3 energy on a stage 1, not KOing Pokemon V unless they're weak. Nah, ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid that is not going to do it. Now there is a new Golduck coming along in this particular set. 2 energy, 50 damage, not good. But 3 energy, discard both active Pokemon and all attached cards. You know what? Even though it's 3 energy on a stage 1, which is very expensive, way more than I'd like, I can see a use for this. I can see a point to this Golduck card. No, I don't think it's stunning, but your opponent's got a Pokemon you just cannot get rid of, you're essentially swapping your Golduck, which is basically pointless, for their card, which is hopefully not. It's expensive, but this one could be kind of fun. Now we have a new Love Disc coming along as well, and this one is not great. 2 energy, 30 damage, no. Single energy, both players reveal the top 2 cards of their deck and put them into their hand. And sure, you get to draw 2 cards and that's good, and sure, you get some information about your opponent's hand, which is good, but you're essentially gifting your opponent 2 cards right before the start of their turn? Nah. With one exception. And the exception here is very simple. If your opponent is about to deck out, if they have got 1 or 2 cards in hand, then what you can actually do here is use this to make them draw the last 1 or 2 cards in their deck so that they then deck out at the beginning of their turn, and at that point, it becomes a very nice attack indeed. Now, we do have our first ever Hisuian Avalugg card, and I enjoyed that fight in the game. What do we have here? Well, we got an ability that says it takes 30 less damage from attacks, which is fine, but it's not going to win the game. You know, 140 HP is also good, but let's not go over the top. But we've then got 2 ordered, 2 colorless energy, 100 damage. But if there's a stadium in play, you do 220 and discard the stadium. Now look, 4 energy on a stage 1 is a lot. We've talked about that. But 220 is enough to KO basically any Pokemon V. And you're a single price Pokemon with a little bit of bulk. You can always be using stuff like Frostmoth to accelerate energy in the short term before it rotates. And I am not sitting here saying this is good. But I absolutely am sitting here saying you're KOing Pokemon V with single price Pokemon. There is at least a little bit of potential here. Now moving over into electric, we've got Manectric, 2 energy, 50 damage, less said about that the better. But 3 energy, 80 damage, if your opponent's active Pokemon has a tool, you deal 80 more damage. 160 for 3 energy on a stage 1, it's fine, but 180 is where you start KOing relevant Pokemon V. And you can do it here with a Choice Belt, but I've been pretty clear about the fact I don't really want to be putting 3 energy on a stage 1 unless I'm KOing Pokemon V. And here, where we basically are is, you need 3 energy on a stage 1, and they need a tool, and you need a Choice Belt, and then you're only KOing the very weakest of Pokemon V. It's not doing it for me, ladies and gentlemen. I am afraid it's not doing it for me. Morail is back as a Psychic Pokemon here. 3 energy, 90 damage, just plain no. But we've got 1 energy. During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon cannot retreat. Okay. And it takes 90 more damage from attacks. This one I could kind of get behind. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue this is a stunning, phenomenal attack. It's not. It's very situational, and if your opponent retreats, even if they then, or switches out, even if they then bring the same Pokemon active, this will be reset and won't work. However, there are going to be times you stop your opponent retreating, and I suppose they'd have to switch out because they can't retreat, and then they take 90 more next turn. This could set up a 2-turn knockout that you're not ready for yet. It's awkward, but there will be times where this will actually work. Also, this could be an absolute beast in a pre-release where there's not many switching cards, and that extra 90 damage could be huge. Moral could be an absolute beast in a pre-release. You've heard it here first. Now we do have a new Drifblim here with a single attack, 1 psychic energy, 50 damage, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. And frankly, I don't think 50 to the active is enough, and I don't think putting 2 damage counters on a bench Pokemon is enough. I don't think this is enough. And I know that's sad, and I'm sorry, I have got a lot of love for Drifblim. I've played Drifblim in the past. I've taken Drifblim very far in very large tournaments. Not this Drifblim, ladies and gentlemen. Not this Drifblim. Now, Malamar is back with that Kamiya artwork. Not my favourite artist, but I know some people it really is. Also, shout out to Kuramitsu, who did that new Morail. It's the very, very vibrant new style, and I am quite a fan of it. And what we've got here is 3 energy, 80 damage. No, so many of these Pokemon have 1 attack where I'm just saying no because it's just not good. But then we've also got single psychic energy, 30 damage, both players reveal their hand. If both players have a card with the same name in hand, you deal 120. And this is alright. 120 for a single energy, pretty gosh darn good. It's a little bit awkward, but there's going to be plenty of times you've both, for instance, got Professor's Research in hand. That'll work. I think this is one of those ones where you've really got to know before you can be sure, but there are ways to peek at your opponent's hand, and maybe 120 for a single energy in those circumstances, that could be kind of fun. Now, Mean Shao is another Pokemon I have had success with in tournaments in the past, but once again, it's not this Mean Shao. Single energy, 30 damage, on a stage 1, no. 2 energy, flip 2 coins, 70 damage for each heads. So if I flip double heads, I'm doing 140, which still isn't really enough to do much, unless I'm hitting for weakness. Even if I hit double heads, I don't really like this that much. Sorry. Donphan does 120 for a single energy, so a 25% chance of doing 140 for 2 energy? Nah. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to play a stage 1 fighting Pokemon, stick with Donphan. Or even, honestly, the other Mean Shao, which is still way better than this one, quite frankly. Way better than this one. Now, Hariyama is back in this set. We've got a new Hariyama. And what we've got here is 2 energy, 40 damage, flip a coin if heads, paralysis. That's alright. Paralysis is good. It's going away soon, unfortunately, but we've still got Glimwood Tangle in the short term to try and get that paralysis, so it's not terrible. And then free energy, 100 damage, not affected by resistance. This kind of is terrible. Too much energy, not enough damage. No. Let's move on from that one, shall we? But sticking with fighting, there is a new Gastrodon coming in here. And what we've got is a single energy, discard an energy from this Pokemon, then heal all damage from this Pokemon. And if this was 340 HP free prize VMAX, yes. But the reality is what we've actually got here is 130 HP single prize Pokemon. You're going to be one hit KO'd way too often for this to be relevant. But free energy, 170 damage, plus 20 to each of your bench Pokemon. 20 to each of your bench is kind of rough, but let's not forget, we've still got that wonderful Phanpy, which has got that lovely outrage attack. So that's nice. Yay. But I'm going to be honest with you, 170 is still not enough to KO Pokemon V, and free energy on a stage 1 is too much. So once again, we've got that mean combination of too much expected to get it rolling, and not enough payoff when we do. Carbink is a Pokemon that seems to not come around terribly often here, but we've got a new one. And free energy, 80 damage, no. Single energy, search your deck for an item card, reveal it, and put it into your hand. I'm not saying this is good, this isn't particularly good. I am saying there are going to be plenty of times where searching out one item card is going to be a decent option. Honestly, if I was searching out an item card to end my turn, I'd rather have Sylveon V. Because Sylveon V can do that as an ability, and then I can leave whatever I want in the active in the meantime, and I don't have to put any energy on it to achieve it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think I would ever play this Carbink, because in any situation where I would be considering using this, I'd be going, oh, hang on a second, why am I not just playing Sylveon V? Sorry, Carbink. Ariados comes in, and now we have another new artist here, Shinji Kata, which has come out in the last couple of sets. Not a favourite of mine, but I know some people are going crazy for this artwork. I can understand why. Lovely to see weird new artists in the game. And when I say weird new artists, I mean their style is unlike any other, and I think that is cool. Single energy, 10 damage, plus 30 more for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. No. Just no. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not good enough. It's just not. It doesn't build up fast enough. And then free energy, 80 damage, plus poison. Yeah. No, there's nothing really about this Ariados, unfortunately, that I can particularly get behind. Sorry about that. But there is another Darkness Pokemon we can look at instead. There is a new Darkrai, and Darkrai's always good, right? So there's got to be a chance for this new Darkrai here. Well, 2 energy, 30 damage plus sleep is, not inspiring, I think is fair to say. I don't think that's an unfair thing. And then we've got 3 energy, 130 damage, and this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. Oh. And we've got plenty of things like Dark Patch around to accelerate energy, but the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, this is not good enough. It's just not. Sorry. Speaking of mythical Pokemon, we've got ourselves a new Magearna. And single energy, 20 damage. It's just not enough damage. 3 energy, 60 damage. If it's got a tool attached, you deal 60 more. And confusion. I like 120 plus confusion. I don't like 3 energy on a 90 HP basic, because you're going to get KO'd way, way too easily. It is actually a pretty nice attack. It is a decent attack, but it's too much energy to put on a Pokemon that is going to be KO'd too quickly, and you're not probably KOing very much here. You really want to be using this attack twice. It's too much to put on a Pokemon which is too easily KO'd. And finishing off with some Colorless Pokemon here, we've got ourselves a new Chatot, and you know, who doesn't like Chatot? And what we've got here is single energy, draw a card. We've got plenty of Pokemon out there that can draw 2, so no. And single energy, 30 damage. The defending Pokemon cannot retreat during your opponent's next turn. And I wish Chatot had free retreat like it had in the past. Because actually, basic Pokemon single colorless energy, deal a bit of damage and stop them retreating. That's not terrible. Because there are going to be times where just trapping your opponent in the active for a turn or 2 can be enough to swing the game into your favour. That could actually be pretty good. But it doesn't have free retreat, which I think hurts it. But saying that, it's still a single colourless energy on a basic Pokemon that can trap your opponent in the active for a few turns. That can lead to some wins. I could see Chatot seeing some play. I don't think it's going to see a huge amount of play, but I do think that it is at least worth a little bit of a play around with. Now, Licky Licky is not worth a bit of a play around with. We got 2 vanilla attacks, we got 2 energy 50 damage, and 4 energy 130 damage. No. I have nothing to add about Licky Licky, just no. And that means that we can finish off having a look at Ursaring. Also, T0, one of the artists, seems to have come around a bit more lately. This is another artist I've got my eye on. This Ursaring is beautiful. 3 energy, 100 damage. Let's just move on. But single energy, flip a coin until you get tails. This attack does 40 damage for each heads. And I'm not actually saying that this is going to be an attack which is going to win you game after game. But I love emergency attacks. I love attacks which are like, right, well, I've lost the game. Unless I can do like 200 damage right now, hey, I wonder if I can flip 5 heads in a row. And the reality is, you probably can't flip 5 heads in a row. But at least this gives you a chance, rather than just admitting you've lost the game. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen, lots of new Pokemon. This is one of the videos with the most Pokemon I've actually looked at, so yay! And some of these are absolutely worth taking a look at. Yanmega has got a fair bit of potential there, and I should mention the Yama was done by Okacheke and is absolutely stunning. The Orbeetle's got a nice ability, that Mantine can be pretty good. The Avalugg, KO's Pokemon V, is a single prize Pokemon. That Malamar could be kind of fun. There are some Pokemon here that are absolutely worth taking a good look at. But now it's over to you guys. I want to know what you think about these cards. I want to know which of your favourite. I want to know which of these are underrated in your eyes and which of these you think are never going to see any play whatsoever. So let me know in the comment section, would ya? Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCG Radio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.